Constantine relocated the capital of the Roman Empire to Constantinople in the east because the eastern Mediterranean was wealthier, and the move allowed him to spy on enemies in the east. With the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the eastern half became known as the Byzantine Empire and included lands in Greece, the Balkans, Anatolia, Syria, Palestine, Egypt, and northeastern Africa.
Justinian, who reigned from 527 to 565 CE, was a very important emperor during the early Byzantine Empire. His wife, Theodora, advised him on political, religious, and diplomatic issues. He built great public works, including the Hagia Sophia, a cathedral that became a mosque following the Ottoman Turks' conquest of Constantinople. After a systematic review of all the laws of the Republic, Justinian codified Roman law, keeping the legal practices of ancient Rome. The lower Danube region was the breadbasket of the empire. The Byzantine government prevented wealthy classes from seizing peasant lands. The wealthy could buy exemption from taxes. Trade was very important to the empire as a direct result of its location. Merchants were especially respected.
Greek replaced Latin as the official language of the Byzantine Empire. Byzantine preservation of Greek culture was transmitted back to Western Europe during the Crusades. Russia was heavily influenced by the Byzantine Empire and adopted their religion, Orthodox Christianity.
With the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe was divided into many Germanic kingdoms.
During the Dark Ages, trade collapsed, towns declined, and learning ceased.
This was a time of complete chaos. There was no order or stability. The Roman Catholic Church was the only source of continuity in a changing world. This resulted in it becoming very powerful.
The Franks built a society based on agriculture in Europe's northern region and developed into decentralized political institutions. Clovis established the Frankish Empire as the most powerful of new states in Western Europe. He also converted to Christianity and gained the support of the Catholic Church. The Frankish unification of Western Europe made Muslim defeat possible at Tours in 732. Charlemagne centralized this empire. He was pronounced Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire in 800. Charlemagne, I crown you Holy Roman Emperor!
Nice.
Franks declined due to external pressures.
Feudalism was the political and social order of medieval Europe. Local lords administered local affairs and collected taxes. Land or fiefs were given in exchange for protection. Lords also lived off the surplus of crops of their vassals, similar to the system of medieval Japan.
The Crusades.
No!
The Croissants. The Croissants were a series of holy wars declared by Pope Urban II in 1095 against the Muslims in an effort to recapture Palestine and Jerusalem. The Crusades resulted in increased cultural diffusion. Europe was reintroduced to Greco-Roman culture, which had been preserved by the Byzantine Empire and also discovered Eastern goods. The Byzantine Empire, feudal nobles, and papal power, the church were weakened. The bubonic plague spread from southwestern China in 1300 to Europe in 1348. Fleas on rats transmitted the disease. The Black Death killed a third of the European population and disrupted trade and economy.
After centuries of turmoil following the Han Dynasty, the Sui emerged. The Sui created many public works projects such as the Grand Canal, a series of artificial waterways that connected Hangzhou to Chang'an, a distance of almost 2,000 kilometers. In the 610s, a rebellion broke out in northern China, and in 618, the Emperor Sui Yangdi was assassinated and the dynasty fell.
The Tang dynasty restored peace and stability after the fall of the Sui. Government jobs and their extensive bureaucracy were based on merit, determined through a series of civil service exams, like this very, very challenging one.
Military conquests of the Tang included Manchuria, Tibet, Korea, and the northern part of Vietnam. The Song dynasty followed the Tang when it declined. Song was founded by Song Taizu. The Song experienced military problems because of their limited military experience of their leaders. Technological developments during the Song and the Tang made possible because of the abundant amount of food supplies. Porcelain was important during these dynasties. They also developed gunpowder, which would be used to great effect in military battles. Movable type was also invented.
Neo-Confucianism developed in response to the popularity of Buddhism. It shows Buddhism's lasting impact on Chinese society throughout East Asia.
Temujin brought all the Mongol tribes under a single confederation in 1206 and was proclaimed at Genghis Khan. Cavalry was essential to success. He united Central Asia and created the largest land empire in history. Kublai Khan consolidated Mongol rule in China and established the Yuan dynasty, ushering in a period of peace known as Pax Mongolica. Marco Polo was an Italian merchant who visited China during Mongol times. His stories inspired Columbus and others to attempt to find a passage to the east.
The Golden Horde overran Russia and explored Poland, Hungary, and eastern Germany. They held power in the Caucasus and Crimean Peninsula and exacted tribute there until the 15th century. Hulagu conquered the Abbasid Empire in Persia. Mongol rule declined in a short amount of time due to insufficient experience in governing a settled society. Emperor Hongwu established the Ming Dynasty in 1368. He established direct rule by the emperor and re-established the civil service exam. From 1405 to 1433, Ming China sent Zheng He on 7 exploratory voyages. Zheng He traveled to Southeast Asia, Ceylon, India, the Persian Gulf, Arabia, and the East African coast, where he established tributary relationships. His voyage demonstrated China's ability to be a military, political, and economic power in the Indian Ocean. Ming emperors abruptly pulled funds for his expeditions because they were concerned with domestic problems and frontier security. The Qing dynasty was founded by the Manchus, who invaded and made up only a small part of the population. The Manchus required Chinese men to wear their hair in a braid, as was the Manchu custom. The Qing dynasty lasted until 1911 and was the official last dynasty. Japan fused their traditional Shinto beliefs with Chinese Buddhism and Confucianism. During the Heian period, power was centralized under the Fujiwara family. The Fujiwara declined when land became concentrated into the hands of a small group of wealthy elite.
Medieval Japan was characterized by decentralized political power in which regional warlords, called daimyos, controlled the land and economy. Samurai played important roles in society and observed the Bushido, or the way of the warrior. Oh no! The medieval period ended when the Tokugawa dynasty centralized power and unified Japan in the 16th century.
States were broken up and the attendance at the imperial court in Edo was required. Daimyo needed the permission of the shogun to marry and even to repair their castle. Korea was a mountainous peninsula. It was conquered by the Chinese many times. This resulted in them adopting the Chinese written language, Buddhism, and the civil service system. Korea served as a cultural bridge between China and Japan.